Okay, so as usual, before you start your trading day, it's best to look at the economic calendar and also to check the news to see what's happening generally in the global markets so that you can have an idea what's going on before you actually start your trading. So we start with the economic calendar. Today is Tuesday, the 18th of August. And then again, always make sure you use the correct time zone. Like say I'm in Rwanda, so that's why it's GMT+2. So always make sure you use the correct time zone wherever you're based so that you're looking at the correct times for where you're based. So today is Tuesday, 18th of August. The main market we're looking at, sorry, excuse me, is the Euro-US dollar. So we're looking for reports of high importance that could affect either the Euro or the US dollar. And we'll also note reports of medium importance that could affect the Euro or the US dollar. So let's have a look. So we can see here at 10 o'clock this morning, at 10 o'clock this morning, we have the ECB Guido's speech. That's the ECB president's going to be speaking, but it's just a speech, so it's not an economic announcement. That's why it's classified as medium. So that's what you check first. So if you go to, at 10 o'clock, the Euro area, ECB Guido's speech, and again, the speech could go on for as long as he wants to go on. So he's not making an announcement. And usually because the president of the European Central Bank knows that whatever he says could affect the market, so they're very guarded whenever they make public speeches. Okay, so that's at 10 o'clock, but it's of medium importance, so that won't stop us from trading, but it's just good to know that's happening. And at the same time, the Fed, Brainard is also going to be speaking. So like I said, these are just speeches, but because people from the Fed and the ECB, they're quite important people. But like I said, they know that, so they're always very, very guarded. They're very vague when they make public speeches. But obviously, it's always noted that people to know, because if they say something crazy out of the blue, it could shake the market. So that's why it's good to note that. But like I said, they very rarely do that because they know the effects of their words. So they choose their words carefully, and they're always very vague. Okay, so that's at 10 o'clock this morning, Rwandan time, which is 9 a.m. UK time. But like I said, that won't stop you from trading. So let's carry on. And then 2:30, we have from the United States, the building permits and housing stats. This is just to give you an idea of what's happening in the housing market. The housing market sometimes can impact the global markets, as we know from the 2008 crash. It started from the real estate market. But again, that's medium. So again, that won't stop us trading. Again, if you want to find out more about the report, you just click on the report and find out a bit more about it. Or you can even Google it. Okay, so that's at, well, 1:30 London time, 2:30 Rwandan time. But again, that won't stop us trading. Okay, and the rest are all reports of low importance. So for today, there are no reports that are going to stop us from trading. So we can go straight ahead and look for trading opportunities. But like I always say, it's always good to check the rest of the week, because something happening down the line of the week could actually impact your trading today. So for example, tomorrow, there are some reports of enormous importance due out tomorrow that will make us wary trading today. So although there are no reports of high importance due out today, or no reports of medium importance that could impact the market that is due out today, and we can go straight ahead and trade, but there are some reports tomorrow that could have a huge impact on the market that will make us wary trading today. And so that's why it's always good to check the rest of the week, which is why I tend, when I send the post on a Monday on the platform, I tend to show what's coming up on the economic calendar for the rest of the week. And that's the reason why, because it gives me an idea and what I need to do and how to prepare best to trade. So if we go to tomorrow, tomorrow is Wednesday, the 18th of August. And if you see tomorrow, there are quite a few reports of high importance coming out from important countries like the inflation rate. So you have the UK inflation rate due out tomorrow. You also have the Euro area inflation rate due out tomorrow, which will obviously have a huge impact on the Euro US dollar. We also have the Canadian inflation rate due out tomorrow. So it's an inflation rates day tomorrow. And then finally, the big one is the FOMC minutes from the United States. This is the big report for the week. This is a huge report that would shake all markets. So because this report is due out tomorrow at 7 p.m. London time, 7 p.m. in the evening London time, you can see that there's a chance the markets could trend sideways all day today and also tomorrow leading up to this report, because it's a report of huge importance. FOMC means Federal Open Market Committee, the minutes of their meeting. So this Federal Open Market Committee in the US, they are the ones that decide the interest rate decision for the US. So usually when the interest rate is announced in the US, people don't know what was the rationale behind them either holding the interest rates, increasing the interest rates, or cutting the interest rates. They just see the report that the interest rate has been held, cut, or increased. Now, there's a lot of things you can get from the minutes of that meeting that made them decide their interest rate decision, because the minutes of that meeting will give you an insight into their thinking and their rationale, and that you can use that to sort of predict what might happen later on. So that's why this is a report of huge importance. And again, if you want to find out more, you just click on the report and you can read more about the report. And again, like I say, you can also Google it if you want to. So that's a report of very, very high importance, the Federal Open Market Committee minutes, the FOMC. Like I said, this is a report of mega importance that affects all markets. It affects the commodities markets, the bond markets, the stock market, all currency pairs, all markets are affected by this report. It's of huge significance. And because of that, you know, everyone in the markets, they're all anticipating that this report and waiting for it. So because of that, there's a high probability that the markets could trend sideways today and tomorrow, Wednesday, leading up to this report tomorrow evening. So in that vein, even us trading today, so like I said earlier, although there are no reports of high importance throughout today, the 18th, we're going to place our trades now, but because of what's coming out tomorrow, we're only going to have one attempt at the market in view of the chance that the markets might trend sideways today and also tomorrow, leading up to that report tomorrow evening. So again, this is the reason why it's good to check the economic calendar for the rest of the week to see what's coming up, because something coming up later in the week could impact your trading in the current day, which is what's happening today. So yes, there are no reports of high importance today. There's no report of medium importance of consequence today. We could trade today. Technically speaking, you could have 3 attempts at the markets today, but because of what's coming out tomorrow and the fact that the whole market's anticipating that report tomorrow evening, and now that we know that, we are not going to have 3 attempts at the market today. We're going to look at the charts now, place our pending orders, but we're only going to have one live attempt at the market. Okay, so again, that's the importance of checking the calendar for the rest of the week. The other thing too is always make sure you check any of these financial news websites. The one I use a lot, like I said, is the Market Watch. The Market Watch, it's a very good financial website that's updated every couple of minutes. So you get up-to-date financial information, what's happening in the global markets. And like I said, when it comes to trading currencies, it tends to be big major news, like of course what's going on with China and US, the trade wars, the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. But those two things now, the markets is sort of aware about them, but there's obviously still causing uncertainty in the markets. It's the stock market that is more sensitive to all this other news, but it's still good to check. So you can see, obviously the countdown has started towards the US presidential elections in November. So you can see the Democrats had they're doing their convention, and you know the war of words have started between the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. But I think again, going back to uncertainty, when we start getting close to the election, so from mid-October to early November, when the elections actually takes place, there's going to be a lot of uncertainty in the markets, and you know one has to be careful trading then, but not now. But it's a question of just, again, make it a habit of watching this space, keeping an eye on the major news. Like I say, you just have to look at the headlines. You don't necessarily have to read everything. Of course, if something catches your eye and of interest to you, you can click on it and then read it. But again, this gives you a good idea about what's going on in the financial markets that could affect your trading or even your investing, your investments. Okay. So now that we've had a good look and we know what's going on, let's go to the trading platform. We'll start with the swing trading. As we know, with the swing trading, that one is straightforward. With swing trading, we use the daily time frame, and the strategy we use for swing trading is we're using the moving average as our entry point and also our exit point. And as we can see, the moving average, this is, like I said, the daily time frame. So each candlestick represents a whole day. So we can see the Euro US dollar has been trending up and it's been going up. So what we're trying to do with swing trading is that if the market reverses and it starts to fall down, we want to sell when it breaks the moving average. And then today, again, you look at the data window. Today, the moving average today, 18th, is 1.1535. So that's the moving average today. So all you just need to do is adjust your stop loss to 2 pips below that with a 100 pip stop loss, which is what I've done. So I now have my order at 1.1533 with a stop loss of 1633, 100 pips. And then again, we'll just check that again tomorrow and keep adjusting my order every day with the moving average until the market takes it. And again, as you know, with swing trading, that could take weeks or months. You don't get swing trading opportunities every day. But once you've got enough capital, excuse me, once you've got enough capital in your account and you're familiar with trading, that's where the advantage of trading different markets come in. Because if you trade in different markets, you get more opportunity to monitor different markets, and you could catch some moves there. Let me show you as an example. Let me bring up my live account, because with the dollar yen and the New Zealand dollar, they both have broken their moving averages from a yearly point of view, and we now have swing trade opportunities with both of them. So you can see with the dollar yen. Let me go to the, and then the, with the New Zealand dollar. So you can see with the New Zealand dollar, just like the Euro US dollar, I bought there. I think you guys who've been following my trades, you can see I told you this a long time ago when I bought the New Zealand dollar on the swing trade with the moving average there. And that was on the 18th of May. And I've just been going with the market since the 18th of May. But you can see on the 12th of August, the market broke the moving average 50. It took me out of my buy trade there. So I entered the buy trade there and then exited the buy trade there. And I'm now in the sell trade from a swing trading point of view. So this is what we are waiting for with the Euro US dollar. So my buy trade went from the 18th of May and I exited that buy trade on the 12th of August. So that's May, June, July, almost 4 months. So that was a swing trade I went on for almost 4 months. And then, of course, waiting for the sell trade took 4 months. So again, like I say, with the swing trading, you don't get an opportunity every day. But when you start trading multiple markets, and again, it's your money management and your capital that will determine how many markets you trade, not you just begin to trade multiple markets. And of course, you need to be very, very confident with your trading, your strategy, your money management, your ability to analyze the market and switch from one market to the other and analyze multiple markets at the same time. Okay, so that's from the swing trading. So let's go to day trade. So we can see from the day trading, we use the pivot point strategy and the 5-minute time frame. We can see the market is now trending sideways along the first resistance. We can just quickly mark that out. So that's the high best point there, 18963. I'll round that up to 1897. And low points there is 1882. Okay, so we've got a sideways trend there. So as usual, that's the first thing you want to do when you're analyzing your chart, is to first determine the trend of the market. That's the number one thing you want to do when you look at the chart. And we can see the market is trending sideways. It's not making higher highs and higher lows or lower highs. It's trending sideways. We can see clearly that the first resistance is within the sideways trend. And so using the pivot point strategy, which is the strategy we're using, you can't use R2 to trade. So there are no buy opportunities at the moment. If the market itself forms a market resistance, we could possibly then trade using the market resistance, but the market hasn't formed the market resistance yet. So there are no buy opportunities if the market goes up. Now, if the market starts to fall, the first available place we can trade is to sell below the pivot point. Again, the market itself hasn't formed the market support, so there's nowhere to sell here. So the first available to sell if the market falls would be to sell just below the pivot point. And the pivot point level is 1.1860. So we'll sell 2 pips below that. Oh, before I forget, because always use the pivot point parameters of the platform you are using to trade. Of course, if you're in the UK, you're using the IG index platform. If you're in Africa, you might be using the FX Primus platform. If you're in Canada, you might be using another platform, and so on and so forth. So you use the parameters on your own platform. Because, for example, let's go to, this is the FX Primus platform. And you can see, oh, sorry, what am I doing? So you can see with the FX Primus platform, the pivot point level is 1.1858. So it's 1.1859. 1859 is a pivot point level, 1859. Whereas with the IG index is 1860. I mean, there's just 1 or 2 pips difference, so it's not a big difference. But always use the parameters of your own platform. I think because the majority of you are based in the UK, that's why I tend to post the parameters from the IG demo account on the platform. But I just want to stress this, is that you use the principle of the trading and use the parameters of your own platform. Because someday I might forget and actually post the IG, the FX Primos picture on the platform, and you might notice the parameters are different from yours. Do not worry, just use your own parameters based on your own platform. Okay, right, so on this IG platform, the pivot point is 1.1860. We want to sell 2 pips below that at 1.1858. So that's 2 pips below that. So bring up the order. Again, you check your volume, make sure you're using the correct volume. So like I said, if you're using $500, pounds or Canadian dollars, whatever currency you're using to trade, if you're using 500 to start with, like I advise on your live trading account, you start with 50p or 50 cents per pip, and we only be risking $10 or 10 Canadian dollars or 10 pounds per trade. So always check your volume is 0.05. Use the pending order, sell stop. So we're going to sell 2 pips below the pivot point at 1.1858. So stop loss would be 20 pips above 1.1878. And then take profit will be 60 pips below. Again, don't try and impress anyone. If you're not sure, use a calculator. I always remind traders that you're trading at home. Nobody's watching you. So don't try and impress anyone and rush and make big mistakes, especially with real money. So I always use a calculator to be 100% sure. So 1.858 minus 60. So that's 1798. So my take profit will be 1798, 60 pips below. There you go. So got my pending order there. So if the market falls, I'll sell below the pivot point, 2 pips below the pivot point, with a 20 pips stop loss, 60 pips profit limit. And like I said, there are no buy opportunities, so just to sell today. And like I said, in view of the report coming out tomorrow, I'm only going to have 1 live attempt at the market. So that's the plan for today. And now that everything is nice and automated, I can go on and do other things. So again, this is the beauty of having a plan and a strategy of how to trade. So you don't have to be watching the market all day. You can go, even while day trading, you can get on and do other things. Okay, any questions? If you have any questions, you can either send it through the chat box or you can raise your hand. Any questions, comments before we all go for breakfast? But that reminds me too that that's the other reason why it's important to remember the 3 M's. I think for you guys that have been on the platform from day one, you can remember in the month of July, the market was a bit crazy. We were not getting a lot of profitable trades, but because we were disciplined, applying good money management, we were still able to carry on trading from July to August, and then August has been a bit more profitable. So you can see that's the important thing about trading, as you begin to realize as you keep trading over weeks and months, is that you're going to have good weeks, you're going to have bad weeks, you're going to have good months, you're going to have bad months. You don't know which will be a good month, you don't know which will be a good bad month. You don't know which will be a good day. You don't know which will be a bad day. But what gets you through is your consistency, sticking to your trading plan, and most importantly, applying good money management. And that's what makes you survive. Okay, good. So if there are no questions, the chat box is empty, no hands up. I wish you all a good morning, and we'll catch up on the platform. And don't forget to, for those who haven't moved on to the Forex trading group on the platform, do that, because that's where we're placing all the posts now. I'll just go back to the platform. So like I said, if you're not on the Forex trading group, if you go to the platform, if you go to your homepage or your platform, you can go to the topics. And then under topics, you go to the Forex trading topics. And you see that's the last thing I posted on the general group. So if you click on that, on that post, and then just click on the embedded link and click on free access, that will take you to the live Forex trading group, because that's where all the posts and the events will be set up now. So let me actually go to the group, and then you see what you can see on the group. So this is the new group, the new live Forex trading group, and that's where I'm putting all the posts now. And that's where you can see this are all the posts from yesterday that are on the group. They're no longer on the main group. So we don't plug it up for the poor guys who are just on the platform, just only for investing. Because as you know, we put a lot of posts up from the Forex trading. So if you're not on this group now, do move over to this live Forex trading group. And like I said, also, I'm going to be posting the events and the live trading sessions on this platform too. Okay, so it's not posted there yet, but the next one for next week, Tuesday, will be posted here under events. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's a question. Let me bring that up.